This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. I sounded pretty happy saying that, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Really brought it.
We're ready. I'm Stephanie Roberts.
And I'm Adam Cellini in for Ray Collins. It's Friday the 13th, and John Scalzi is standing by to tell us why Italians are not superstitious usually on these dates.
Boy, my grandma was, I'll tell you.
Really?
Oh, my goodness. She had like the
interesting.
evil eye thing on the back door.
Yeah, get some herbs out.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
there it is.
Yes,
Exactly.
she did.
That's it.
Yes, she did.
See?
Yeah, it was serious business back then. We have today some changing weather. It looks pretty good for us. Oh, by the way, we have a couple of new weather watchers I'd like to introduce to you all. Mark from Palmetto is a seasoned weather watcher joining us and reports 72 degrees there. Cooper in South Central Sarasota, new weather watcher, 75 degrees. And Becky in Old Mayaca, been with us over 20 years, and she reports 68 degrees. If you'd like to be a weather watcher, if you've got a good weather station and want to share your information with the rest of our ABC7 family, why, please just give me a call. You can email me, and we'll set things up for you. John Scalzi at mysuncoast.com. A few scattered showers over on the other coast, an indication of increasing moisture across the region. Some sunshine to start, some clouds in the afternoon, and a low-pressure area approaching, promising better weekend rains. Complete forecast for you coming up in a few.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look at our first alert traffic maps here. Things picking up a little bit near downtown Bradenton, US 301 heading towards downtown, a bit of a slowdown, and on State Road 70 there. And in Sarasota County, we have some slowing on US 41 heading south, as well as Bee Ridge Road heading towards the interstate. And in South Sarasota County, a little bit of a slowdown there on US 41, but no accidents to report through our area right now.
It is 6:04 and our top story at this hour. The Trump administration announces overnight it will slash health care subsidies that reduce the out-of-pocket costs for low-income Americans on Obamacare.
And President Trump is expected to take another major step today to unravel the actions of his predecessor by decertifying the Iran nuclear deal. ABC's Lana Zach has the latest in Washington.
With plans to repeal and replace Obamacare failing in Congress, the Trump administration announced a move that may kill it outright. Late at night, a statement from the White House said that the administration will no longer provide the $7 billion government payments to offset insurance costs for low-income Americans, calling them unlawful.
This is crazy town. This is a decision that is opposed by every major medical organizations, the doctors, the nurses, the hospitals.
President Obama's former chair of the Council of Economic Advisors speaking on MSNBC.
That will be a catastrophic decision that will lead to millions of people losing their insurance.
The cuts threaten to plunge the exchanges into turmoil and could trigger a spike in premiums unless Congress authorizes the money. Earlier in the day, the president had signed an executive order on health insurance and asked his administration to look into expanding health care associations across state lines.
You will be hopefully negotiating, and you'll get such low prices for such great care.
And the president plans to undo another major action of the Obama administration today.
The Iran deal
expected to decertify the Iran nuclear deal, pushing it back to Congress to decide what action to take. Congress will have 60 days to decide. Critics charge that Iran has maintained their part of the nuclear deal, and their president said that if the United States decides unilaterally to kill it, it will be clear which country, quote, violates international rules. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
And the Trump administration is delaying its decision on whether it should reveal secret details of a $17 billion deal between Iran and Boeing. The administration asked the Chicago federal court on Thursday for a 2-month extension for that decision. They want more time to decide if revealing secret details of the deal would hinder a key part of the Iranian nuclear agreement. President Trump is expected to announce plans to reject that agreement this afternoon.
An American woman, her Canadian husband, and their 3 children are free after being held by the Taliban for 5 years. Video released by the Taliban last December shows Caitlin Coleman, Joshua Boyle, and 2 of their children. Coleman and Boyle were kidnapped in 2012 while traveling as tourists in Afghanistan. All of their children have been born in captivity. The U.S. confirms a Pakistani army statement that says those hostages were recently freed by security forces. The family is currently in Pakistan but is expected to return to Canada. And developing overnight, 2 are dead and 10 people are injured after an attempted prison escape in North Carolina yesterday. The North Carolina Department of Public Safety says fires were set at the prison as several inmates tried to escape. Prison employees are among those injured. The prison and 3 nearby schools were placed on lockdown during that incident. The lockdown at the schools has since been lifted, and officials say the situation at the prison is now under control. An update now on the terrible wildfires across California. The death toll now up to at least 31 overnight. Firefighters are using controlled burns to try and block the fire from advancing, but that blaze continues to threaten hundreds of nearby neighborhoods. Fires have burned more than 191,000 acres across the state, with the largest now in Sonoma, Napa, and Mendocino counties. More than 3,500 structures have been destroyed, and at least one entire city is being evacuated.
This is a mandatory evacuation. Your presence in Calistoga is not welcome if you are not a first responder. You will not be given life safety support at this point. You are on your own.
As the weather continues to change, fire officials worry those flames could shift, forcing even more to leave their homes.
As the impact on last month's hurricanes fades, fewer people are seeking unemployment benefits. The Labor Department reports weekly applications for U.S. unemployment fell by 15,000 last week. The number of people seeking unemployment aid in Puerto Rico also fell, although that may simply reflect the ongoing power outages and other damage that has made it harder for people to apply. Delta Airlines is now among the airlines reporting a loss in revenue due to recent hurricanes. Delta announced its third quarter earnings and saw a $140 million loss of revenue due to canceled flights from Hurricane Irma. Despite that, the airline expects to make up for the loss as we get into the holiday travel season.
The Florida legislature finds itself not only dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Irma, but also the impacts from Hurricane Maria. The legislature's chief economist, Amy Baker, says Irma's damage is forecasted anywhere from $25 to $46 billion. The state has already allocated over $140 million in recovery costs, with the largest expense being $36 million for debris removal. Officials are also trying to assess how the influx of residents from Puerto Rico to our state due to Hurricane Maria will affect things. More than 32,000 people have arrived in Florida since October 3rd.
Federal health officials are dropping a Florida nursing home from the Medicare program after 14 patients died during the aftermath of Hurricane Irma. On September 13th, 8 residents died and others were evacuated from the sweltering rehabilitation center at Hollywood Hills. 6 more have since died. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services say that the facility will be terminated due to their failures to meet Medicare's basic health and safety requirements. Reportedly, the home will appeal this termination to show evidence that their actions were consistent with state and federal rules. Florida House Republican leaders are outlining a proposal to allow students who are bullied or suffer violence to transfer to other public schools. The proposal would also let students receive money to attend private schools. House Speaker Richard Corcoran announced the proposal during a news conference at the Capitol, and even though a bill has not yet been filed, Corcoran says the idea is to protect students.
Incident occurs, do we want the child to be trapped in the same school? And the answer to that, and I think everybody agrees, is no. We want to provide that child an alternative and a way to get out of the school.
Under the new proposal, students and parents would report bullying and other incidents to schools, and after a 15-day window, they could move their child to other public schools or receive the scholarship for the private school. Interesting concept. Bullying is one of those words that gets tossed around a little too freely for me these days.
Yeah. I think you transfer the people doing the bullying to
Exactly. No, absolutely. If there's a proven problem, you know, why should the other one have to uproot?
I think so too.
You know?
I think so too.
I don't know. A lot of choices we get
nobody
these days.
listens to me.
Yeah, me either. It's Friday, too heavy.
We have some pleasant weather today. You know, I mean, a little bit lower temperatures, a few scattered showers around. Haven't seen a lot of rain around lately, so it'll be nice to see a few scattered showers, I guess. And temperatures coming down just a little bit. Maybe. Fingers crossed, everybody. Friday the 13th, I know, but I'll say it anyway. Maybe a cold front next week.
Oh, that would be exciting. It's pretty out there this morning. Clear skies,
It was
stars.
very pretty, yeah, but the sun's not out yet, so. We don't know what's going
That's
to happen.
That's why I said stars. It's dark.
And still ahead, we'll have a first alert traffic update, plus new details on Russia meddling in the 2016 U.S. presidential election.
We'll tell you how one investigation suggests the Kremlin influenced voters far beyond Facebook and Twitter.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599, 800-570-7599.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
75 degrees air temperature, dew point at 72. Yesterday we had some dew points in the 60s. Goodness, that felt great. Now we're starting to see those dew points climb back up again thanks to a little extra moisture being injected by an easterly component to our northeast wind. As long as we get that northerly component, though, I think we'll hold on to low 70s. But as we head into the afternoon, I expect to see that wind kind of shifting more and more to the east as a little trough of low pressure swings south of us. 75, Wauchula, Arcadia, Mayaca, Northport, Punta Gorda, Parrish, Bradenton, Sarasota. You get the picture. Pretty uniform temperatures across the region. We have some nice sky out there right now, a lot of starshine, and as we get into sunrise, I think we'll have a fair amount of sunlight to start the day, boosting our temperatures pretty rapidly into the mid-80s. But then by afternoon, I think we'll increase our cloud cover kind of significantly, I think, as we get that moisture riding in. And, you know, we may get a few showers around today. Our rain chance about 3 times what it was yesterday. And as we head into the weekend, we'll boost that rain chance even higher. We have this this plume of moisture out in the Atlantic kind of working its way closer to us. Although locally we don't have a whole lot of rainfall chance until probably later in the afternoon, so the morning commute should be just perfect, rain-free. Couple of frontal boundaries to talk about. This first front brought some chillier temperatures earlier on to parts of the open plains and deep south. That's in the process of kind of falling apart. We also have a secondary front back to the west, producing some snow showers in parts of the northern Rockies. That frontal boundary also has some cooler air back behind it. That one may actually, we'll have to watch this one, may actually hold together sufficiently that it'll sink southward and stall out in South Florida next week. That will allow us to get a little taste of some perhaps slightly cooler air. It's not the big blast of cold air that we sometimes get in October, but it might actually cool us off a few degrees as we head into next week. Area of low pressure swings through the Florida Straits. That's what enhances our rainfall chance as we head into the weekend. So the forecast looks like this for Botus today. Northeast wind at about 15 knots. Moderate chop is what you can expect. And over the course of the weekend, rain chances bump up to about 50% on Sunday. And then we'll watch that front approach on Tuesday with a 60% chance of rain. Then we'll see what happens. We might actually lower the temperatures a few degrees into the mid-80s by the time we hit midweek next week. Back to you.
All right, sounds promising. Thank you very much, John. Still a nice morning commute out there at this early hour. We do have starting to see the building volume there at 301 and State Road 70. I-75's had a rough week southbound through Manatee County, but it looks good right now. It is all quiet in Sarasota. No problems across Fruitville, Bee Ridge, and Clark. And we're off to a nice start this morning in South County. It is 6:18, and we are learning more about Russian efforts to meddle in American politics. And apparently it did not just end at Facebook and Twitter.
A CNN investigation of a Russian-linked account shows its tentacles extended to YouTube, Tumblr, even Pokemon Go. CNN's Drew Griffin has the details.
It was a strange email that came directly to the desk of Baltimore City Paper editor Brandon Weigel. Don't Shoot Us, a group claiming to be made up of black activists, was promoting a protest outside the upcoming court hearing of a Baltimore police officer involved in the death of Freddie Gray. They wanted Weigel to cover it, but he was immediately suspicious.
It wasn't a group that I had heard of, either locally or nationally.
CNN has now learned Don't Shoot Us wasn't local nor national. It was Russian. And the black activism Don't Shoot Us was promoting in Baltimore was part of a much bigger strategy that Georgetown professor Mark Jacobson says was aimed at attacking the U.S. democratic system.
What the Russians are doing by fomenting distrust for the American government and by also trying to organize rallies is what you do when you want to destroy a country from within. These are warlike acts. These are acts designed to destroy the United States.
A CNN investigation shows Russia's propaganda attack on the U.S. went beyond using fake accounts and ads on Facebook and Twitter. CNN tracked multiple accounts from Don't Shoot Us across the internet, a website that boasted 300,000 followers, a YouTube channel with videos of police brutality, a Tumblr account. Most surprising, a post announcing a contest on Pokemon Go when it was at its most popular, directing gamers to visit locations where alleged police brutality took place. All part of a Kremlin-connected campaign of misinformation that actively sought to influence opinion and meddle inside the U.S. The email that arrived on Brandon Weigel's City Paper computer said, "This is Don't Shoot. We raise awareness of police violence against people of color. The idea is to protest in front of the Baltimore City Courthouse and demand justice for Freddie Gray."
It makes sense that it would be a hot-button issue, but I didn't think it was something that the Russians would have exploited.
The Russians not only exploited divisive racial issues in the U.S., CNN has learned Don't Shoot Us was operating almost a rapid response to those shootings. In Minnesota last July, the day after Philando Castile was killed by a white police officer, Don't Shoot Us was using social media to organize its own protest. The effort failed because local community members determined something was wrong. Turns out they were right, and their suspicions had Russian links.
Aaron, the evidence to the extent the Russians went to divide the American electorate just keeps on growing. Blacktivist is another.
Russian-operated site that was used to try to sow discord between the police and blacks in this country. It went so far even as to sell its own Blacktivist t-shirts. As far as we know, the people who engaged with these sites had no idea until now these sites were backed and actually created by Russians.
Wow.
So don't believe everything you read on the internet, maybe?
There's
Further proof?
Deep layers of hidden things happening in the world.
That's a lot to take in at 6:21 in the morning.
Especially on a Friday.
Well, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. In Puerto Rico, power and basic necessities are still scarce, in the wake of Hurricane Maria.
We'll tell you why many residents are questioning if the island will ever be the same.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Celebrate the end of summer with big savings during the Jeep Celebration event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers or save big on a new sleek and stylish Jeep Cherokee for as little as $18,999. Drive off today for your next great adventure in a brand new Jeep Renegade for as low as $15,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Welcome back at 6:25 on a Friday morning. Okay, it's not just any Friday morning. It is Friday the 13th. So if you're superstitious, any of those, just note the date. We are looking at a gorgeous start to the day there, looking at downtown Sarasota there in the background. We have clear skies now and another hot 90-degree day on the way. It's 6:25, and the situation across Puerto Rico is still in very dire straits.
The island still suffering in the wake of Hurricane Maria last month. ABC's Victor Oquendo has more on the conditions, leaving many wondering when and if relief will come.
In this morning's GMA First Look, frustration and disappointment across Puerto Rico after a series of tweets from President Trump ending with this warning: we cannot keep FEMA, the military, and first responders in Puerto Rico forever. The backlash fierce. The mayor of San Juan telling CNN,
for some reason, he's taking all of his anger out in Puerto Rico.
This family sitting outside at night to stay cool in the Barrio Obrero area of San Juan says they've been without power since before Maria, when Hurricane Irma grazed the island.
The people in the inside the country and the municipalities, they need help, emergency help from FEMA.
3 weeks after Maria hit and just 17% of the island has power. Downed power poles are common sights, and we'll have a live report from Puerto Rico coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Victor Oquendo, ABC News, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
What's new from Light and Fit? Greek non-fat yogurt with 0 artificial sweeteners. Real fruit and 90 calories. You'll be wowed. Try new Light and Fit with 0 artificial sweeteners.
When you ache and haven't slept, you're not you. Tylenol PM relieves pain and helps you fall fast asleep and stay asleep. We give you a better night. You're a better you all day. Tylenol.
America's favorite cookie. Delicious chocolate candy. Oreo chocolate candy bars. Now also available in mint flavor.
When I walked through a snowstorm for a cigarette, that's when I knew I had to quit. For real this time. That's why I'm using Nicorette.
Only Nicorette gum is patented dual-coated technology for great taste plus intense craving relief.
Every great why needs a great how.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Looking for carpet? Look no further. Minnesota Flooring has Smart Strand carpet as low as $1.79 per square foot. Installed, no add-ons or extras. Unbelievable? Minnesota Flooring can have in-stock carpet installed in your home in 48 hours for as low as $1.99 per square foot. Don't miss these prices. Visit Minnesota Flooring today.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 1-800-918-5654. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. The IRS is cracking down on those who owe back taxes. They send out devastating letters, garnish paychecks, and even put liens on your home or business. You may have heard of it. It's called enforced compliance. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists who will negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms and can negotiate a tax settlement with the IRS. It's that simple. And if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars, finally ending your financial stress. Now is the time for a fresh start. Now is the time to call Tax 10,000. 800-699-3188. That's 800-699-3188. Call now.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, the first locally transmitted case of Zika in Florida this year is now being monitored, and it's right here on the Suncoast.
Plus, the Florida Department of Children and Families is bringing their Food for Florida benefit program. We'll tell you how you can sign up.
And new developments in the investigation into the dragging death of a shark that got national attention. We'll tell you why investigators are still reviewing the video. Those stories and more coming up right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back. It's 6:31 on a Friday morning. I'm Stephanie Roberts.
And I'm Adam Cellini in for Ray Collins this morning. Pleasure to be here.
Good. Very glad you are here. I've been lonely the past couple of days.
I can imagine. Yeah. Always more fun with two people here on set.
It's more fun
three
with
people.
a friend.
Excuse me. Yes.
Absolutely, I know. But John has to stay over in his corner, so I don't get to,
you
know, really hang out with you like I'd like. But we are certainly glad you are here on a Friday, and we are hoping for good news as we head into the weekend.
Well, question. Does the fact that it's Friday the 13th in any way alter your plans for the day?
No. You?
Adam?
No,
not for me.
I mean, I'm not going to like walk under a ladder if I see one, I'll admit, but I wouldn't anyway.
Yeah. I wonder if they're still changing the hotel floor numbers.
Oh,
I think they are.
I think they skipped 13.
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah, on the elevator, I think they do.
Hey, nothing unlucky about today's weather, though. It looks like it's going to be fine. A little bit of sunshine to start off your morning. Building clouds by afternoon. Better rain chances, though. Radar showing a number of showers moving onshore on the other coast, but nothing here locally. Satellite showing pretty quiet conditions across our area, but out in the Atlantic waters, there's an area of low pressure that will gradually drift toward our south and increase our rain chances just a little bit as we head over into the weekend. That area of low pressure providing us with about a 30% chance of rain showers today. We'll bump it up even higher over the weekend. Details on that forecast coming up for you in a few.
All right, thanks, John. Now let's take a look at our traffic out there this morning as more of you are getting out there on the roads. Bit of a slowdown across the bridge from Palmetto to downtown Bradenton, but the east-west traffic on 70 and State Road 64 looking clear right now. In Sarasota, Bee Ridge, a little bit of a slowdown, but the interstate moving well along with Fruitville roads. And down in South Sarasota County, north-south traffic on US 41 and the interstate clear and easy this morning.
It is 6:33 and topping our news this half hour, the first locally transmitted case of Zika in Florida this year has been reported in Manatee County.
Health officials say a Bradenton couple who traveled to Cuba are both infected with the virus. Our Rick Adams has the latest.
It makes me pretty nervous because it's a really serious issue.
James Mitchell just found out about the Bradenton couple who recently contracted the Zika virus. It's the first reported case in Florida this year. Health officials say a woman was infected following a mosquito bite in Cuba back in late August. Then a mosquito in the backyard of their Bradenton home bit her, then her partner, transmitting the Zika virus. Mark Latham, director of the Manatee County Mosquito Control District, tells us folks around the Suncoast don't need to be too concerned about this.
We're right at the end of the mosquito season. This particular species of mosquito that transmits the disease is really a tropical mosquito, and we don't see populations are dropping rapidly now.
Officials say because of HIPAA law, the exact location of where this happened can't be disclosed. The Mosquito Control District inspected the area, then had a fog truck come into the neighborhood. When it was confirmed on October 6th that it was Zika, a helicopter was sent in to spray the area. Bradenton resident Mildred Long says because of all the mosquito control work the county does and the awareness of her neighborhood, she's not concerned with the Zika case.
All my neighbors have been diligent about walking around the houses and seeing that we don't have standing water. And so I'm not too worried right now.
We're being told the couple is doing fine. They did have some mild symptoms similar to the flu. For James Mitchell and his partner, they say they are now going to be a little more proactive when it comes to using bug repellent.
You just never know. I know it's like 1 in a million, but you never know if it could happen to you.
In Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
And to stay up to date on the latest local news like this Zika issue, we are proud to announce our new ABC 7 My Suncoast News app. If you're an iPhone or iPad user and have our news app, you'll want to go to the App Store now and download the new one. It is WWSB ABC 7 Tampa My Suncoast. It's completely free and provides the most comprehensive news coverage for Sarasota, Manatee, Charlotte, Hardee, and DeSoto counties. If you're an Android user, don't worry, the new version will come automatically.
Some new developments in the investigation into that shark dragging video that was shared millions of times on social media. Florida Fish and Wildlife officials say they are wrapping up their investigation and are working to come to a swift and lawful resolution to that case. The case gaining national attention after that video was posted on Instagram of a group of local Suncoast men dragging a shark behind a boat going at a high speed. Investigators are still compiling evidence and will be handing it over to the state attorney's office soon. A representative with the state attorney's office telling ABC7 once that case has been submitted to them, they will decide if charges will be filed.
A follow-up now on a Sarasota man accused of fracturing the skull of his girlfriend's 3-year-old daughter. A sentencing hearing was held for Nicholas Ritter. He's charged with aggravated battery on a child. According to the girl's family, Ritter will be sentenced to 12 years in prison. He was arrested last September after bringing the girl to Sarasota Memorial and telling staff that she fell. But doctors found bruises and fractures, injuries consistent with blunt force trauma. Ritter had been dating the child's mother for a year.
Plus, a Holmes Beach man is charged with murder and child abuse after a toddler in his care died in August. Police were called to the home on Peacock Lane in Holmes Beach, where they found 17-month-old Luca Shorley unresponsive. He was taken to the hospital, but 2 days later, he was declared brain dead. Doctors found Luca's injuries were consistent with child abuse and notified law enforcement. 31-year-old David Vickers was charged with second-degree homicide and aggravated child abuse following an investigation. Detectives determined Luca had been physically abused by Vickers on several occasions.
And the last of 3 defendants slated for trial in a Bradenton couple's murder will not face the death penalty if convicted. Jimmy McNear is charged in the murder of Cantrell Brooks and Esther Deneos in July of 2015. The couple's 5 children were inside the home at the time of the murders. Last month, Trey Nanambre was convicted of murder and Terez Jones took a plea deal. McNear's trial will begin November 1st.
Happening today, the Florida Department of Children and Families is implementing their Food for Florida disaster program across the Suncoast. The program will let those still feeling the effects from Hurricane Irma apply for food benefits. 2 sites have been set up in both Manatee and Sarasota counties. The program runs through October 17th at the Westfield Sarasota Square Mall from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. for Irma victims in Sarasota and Charlotte counties. DeSoto Square Mall will host the program for Manatee County victims until October 17th from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. For more information on that Food for Florida program and how you can get help, you can go to our website, mysuncoast.com.
Hurricane Irma recovery efforts are still continuing here on the Suncoast, including debris cleanup. Sarasota County's landfill will be open tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. to help residents. Waste management trucks will be back to the normal schedules, but the yard waste routes continue to be delayed. So if you have vegetative storm debris, make sure you're keeping it separate from regular yard waste and garbage. And remember, burning storm debris is prohibited unless you get a permit from the Forest Service.
The future of Sarasota's Bayfront is continuing to come into focus. A planning firm is being hired to lead the redevelopment of the 42 acres of land around the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall. That Boston-based company Sasaki will be creating a master plan of how to best use the space. The Bay property stretches from the Bayfront to Tamiami Trail, Centennial Park to the Boulevard of the Arts.
This community is a community that's built around arts and culture, and we think that it's important that arts and culture be a part of that.
Representatives from Sasaki are expected to come to Sarasota as early as December, and we'll have a hub here for the project. The group then has a year to create their own master plan and present it to the City Commission.
The Florida International Air Show is set to take off this weekend at the Punta Gorda Airport. Everything from classic planes to craft beers are part of the event, as well as a show from an F-35 stunt team and the U.S. Army Golden Knights Parachute Squad. They're also hosting the first 5K run ever on Sunday. A 3-day pass is $50. For 1 day, you can go for $20, and that air show starts today at 10 a.m.
Plus, the 11th annual Hungarian Festival is set to start tomorrow at the Sarasota County Fairgrounds. That event will feature folk music, food, drinks, and Hungarian entertainment. Admission is $15 a person, which includes a glass of beer for adults. Students ages 12 to 17 can get in for just $5, and kids under 12 get in free. So be sure to come out to the fairgrounds this weekend from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Saturday and noon to 8 p.m. on Sunday. Also happening today, the White Cane Day Walk will be starting at Palmetto City Hall around 10 a.m. That walk hoping to promote National Vision Awareness Month and also trying to remind people that drivers must give right-of-way to pedestrians who are using a white cane, a guide dog, a walker, a crutch, or a wheelchair. If you wish to partake in that event, Palmetto City Hall is located on 8th Avenue West.
Dancing, drinks, and a sea of pink was the scene at the 12th annual Key to the Cure event at Saks Fifth Avenue in the mall at University Town Center last night. That event is held each year during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and this year's theme was Party with a Purpose. It benefits the Sarasota Memorial Healthcare Foundation Women's Cancer Programs at SMH.
Event to make everyone aware how important it is for us and for patients with breast cancer to do everything we can to help them and really make it something that's, in everybody's mind.
To date, the event has raised more than $1.3 million. And what I love so much about the Sarasota Memorial Healthcare Foundation is that those funds do all stay local.
That's good.
So it's great to, be able to keep that money close to home where it's needed.
Absolutely.
Get rid of that disease.
We're trying.
Be nice.
Trying our best.
Changing weather over the weekend. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
And we'll have another traffic update coming up, as well as the Trump administration getting mixed reactions on the president's executive order on health care reform.
We'll tell you why medical experts say the new order will actually hurt the groups it is supposed to help when we come back.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that, and with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599, 800-570-7599.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
75-degree air temperature with a dew point of 72. Yesterday's dew point at this hour was coming in the upper 60s. So we've raised our dew point just a little bit, and I think over the course of the next 24 hours or so, we'll see that dew point rise a little bit further. Now, it's not going to be as muggy as it was toward the beginning of the week, but you'll certainly notice a little bit more humidity around as we get a little more moisture into the air, not only at the surface, but aloft as well. and that will help to encourage more showers as we head into the next couple of days. Northeast wind comes in at about 9. Temperatures generally fairly uniform, about 75 degrees most everywhere you look, give or take a degree or two in places. We have across the region areas of showers trying to work their way onshore along the east coast. By the way, there could be a rip current issue along some of the locations of the east coast over the next couple of days because of that easterly wind being somewhat strong. So if you are traveling over to the other coast for the weekend and plan to be in those waters, watch the lifeguard flags. The general shower activity tends to die out as it makes it onto land, as it's removed from the water source of the Atlantic. But as we head into the afternoon, daytime heating, a little trough of low pressure, and an increase in moisture will help to bring a few of those showers into our neck of the woods. So we'll bump up our rain chance today to about 30%, a little bit higher than it was yesterday. And as we head into the weekend, we'll go even higher. Trough low pressure to the north dies out, but a second one advances toward the east, possibly making it through our area by next week. We'll watch and see if that occurs. An area of low pressure down to our south moves across the Florida Straits. And as I mentioned, that's what enhances our rainfall chances this weekend. Look for a northeast wind at about 15 for boaters today. Moderate chop with 2 to 3 foot seas. And the forecast calls for that increasing rain chance, mostly for afternoon showers. It will not be a rain out, but a little extra cloud cover will lower our temperatures just a little bit. And as we head into next week, we'll carry on with that slightly increased rain chance. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, John. Checking out traffic, we do see the typical increasing volume we get in this 6:30 half hour, especially 301 in both directions. Now picking up in volume. I-75 still looking good, though, Manatee County into Sarasota County. Both directions of Bee Ridge also seeing that increasing volume, but we're not seeing any major slowdowns. And as you look into South County, we are accident and delay free. In this hour's Health Smart, President Trump has taken a step toward undoing Obamacare, signing an executive order for health care reform. The president says there is no cost to the government, but critics say it will destabilize insurance markets. Randy Page explains.
I will sign an executive order taking the first steps to providing millions of Americans with Obamacare relief.
I'm not sure what that means. Obamacare is a relief, and taking it away is going to be lack of relief.
Professor Nadare Porat, who is a director at the UCLA Center for Health Policy Research, says the executive order President Trump signed today will not, as the president contends,
increase competition.
This is not a new idea. We lived it, and competition didn't work.
Increase choice.
Increase the choice of junk policies, sure.
And increase access to lower-priced, high-quality health care options.
You cannot get cheap insurance policies that provide great coverage. It's impossible.
Professor Porat says the president's executive order provides a loophole that would allow people to buy health insurance policies across state lines that don't offer coverage for unexpected medical conditions.
You don't expect to get pregnant and you get pregnant. When you don't expect to have breast cancer and you have breast cancer. That's not something that you planned on having or doing, and then you look at your policy and your policy is not even worth the paper it's written on.
The president and his supporters say Obamacare is failing in many parts of the country, leaving people with few options, and they say this executive order will give them access to affordable care. There was a lighthearted moment in Washington today when the president forgot to sign the executive order with cameras rolling.
I'm only signing it because it costs nothing.
In entertainment news now, Bruno Mars is bringing his 24-karat magic to the American Music Awards. The singer-songwriter leads this year's AMA nominations with 8, including Artist and Video of the Year. The 2017 American Music Awards are set for November 19th in Los Angeles. Mars will also be coming close to the Suncoast on his tour. He's performing in Tampa next Thursday at Amalie Arena at 7 p.m. Plus, anticipation is growing for Star Wars The Last Jedi. Online views of the latest trailer are outpacing those of the first teaser released back in April. Monday's trailer now over 26 million views. Advanced ticket sales have begun, and Disney says many early U.S. shows have already sold out 9 weeks before that movie is scheduled to open. And the owners of the house from Breaking Bad are putting up a 6-foot fence to keep fans away. The house of TV character Walter White in Albuquerque, New Mexico has since become a tourist attraction. The people who live there say they're tired of obnoxious fans parking in their driveway and even throwing pizzas onto their roof to reenact a popular scene from the series.
You know, going back to Star Wars, I think John Scalzi already has his tickets for December.
Really?
I think so.
Oh,
I know
one of
he
those
was
super
talking about
fans,
it.
I guess.
Exactly. I guess so. Cracks me up.
Well, still ahead, we'll update your top headlines, and it's a find nearly 8 years in the making.
We'll tell how divers discovered a sunken World War II vessel off the coast of Scotland after this.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon? You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. When severe weather strikes, trust ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
6:54 on a Friday morning, and here are some of the top stories we're following for you on the Suncoast today.
The first locally transmitted case of Zika in Florida this year has been reported, and it is in Manatee County. Health officials say a Bradenton couple is doing fine after traveling to Cuba, where they believe they both contracted that virus.
Plus, Florida Fish and Wildlife officials say they are wrapping up the investigation into the dragging death of a shark that was shared millions of times on social media. Investigators say they're working to come to a swift and lawful resolution to that case.
And the Florida Department of Children and Families is implementing their Food for Florida disaster program across the Suncoast. That program will let those still feeling the effects from Hurricane Irma apply for food benefits in both Manatee and Sarasota County.
At 6:55, it's our final look at First Alert traffic this hour, and things are still looking good on a Friday morning. If you get going now, you should have an easy commute, slowing down a little bit, 301 north and south, but I-75 looks fine. It is all quiet in Sarasota. People off to a slow start on this Friday the 13th, and no problems in South County either. John?
Well, it looks pretty good for us today. We will have an increased rain chance, but it still won't be all that bad, only at about 30%. As we head into the weekend, we'll spike the rain chance on Sunday, and then as we head into next work week, we have a cold front that may be approaching. That'll also spike our rain chance on Tuesday.
And finally this morning, a long-lost vessel used to flee a British battleship sunk during World War II has been found off the coast of Scotland. The HMS Royal Oak was scuttled after an attack by a German sub on October 13th, 1939. More than 500 of the ship's 1,200 crew members were lost. About 100 crew members attempted to flee on a small boat called the Pinnacle, but the small vessel went down with the ship. Now, nearly 80 years later, divers found that wreckage. They say the site will be inspected and recorded.
It's crazy to think what could be lurking down there.
Seriously, don't you think there's like thousands of ships?
A lot of history.
Filled with gold and doubloon.
You think? I don't know.
I think so. Maybe.
I hope we should go deep diving. I'm thinking a gorgeous start to the morning on Friday the 13th. Have a great day. Good Morning America's up next.